Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of Bottoms Up, Fins Up. I am one of your two co-hosts. I am the Hebrew Hammer, Mike Brown. I am joined by Lewis Brown, who is on the road this evening in Austin, Texas. Pops, what's going down?
Michael, how you doing? How's your week?
Oh, my Lord, it is spectacular. We have some breaking news here on the Bottoms Up, Fins Up podcast. We're going to share that here in a few. Once again, Pops live from Austin, Texas. I am in Houston, Texas. We are here to talk all things Miami Dolphins. Breaking news. Yes, Pops, are you going to say something?
Austin, Texas, the University of Texas, home of Brandon Jones and Connor Williams.
And Ricky Williams.
And, well, lots of others, but Ricky Williams, yes.
If you are watching this show right now, I am going to be live in Baltimore, Maryland for game number 2 of the season between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens, the home of the Baltimore Ravens. The Bottoms Up, Fins Up podcast will be live broadcasting Saturday, 4 o'clock Baltimore time from Checker Spot Brewing Company. Landed that gig today. If you are in Baltimore, you're listening to the show, come by. We got some stuff we're going to give away. Live podcast, Checker Spot Brewing Company in Baltimore, Maryland, directly across from the stadium. We are going to be live in enemy territory, donning Miami Dolphins gear head to toe. Pops, that's going to be a special time, special podcast. Cannot wait.
I'm there, baby. I'm ready to go.
My man. Tonight we are drinking Carbach Love Street here in the H-Town. Pops, for some reason, is drinking water, but I have got the beer aspect of the show covered. We got Mom. We got Lori. We got a ton of Dolphins news to talk about. I'm excited. You're excited. Let's talk Miami Dolphins football because that's what we do here best at Bottoms Up, Fins Up. Once again, we cannot say enough how excited we are. Episode 5 for the Fins Talk Network. Shout out to Bobby Melendez and company who are doing massive things at the Fins Talk Sports Network. Love it. So excited we're here, getting ready for the season. Last preseason game this weekend. So let's get right into it. Miami Dolphins had joint practice this week with the Philadelphia Eagles. All the reports from Tuesday, the first of the 2 days between the two teams, Miami dominated Philadelphia, were all the reports that I was reading. Your initial thoughts, do you like the joint practices? Because I love them. I think they're awesome to watch.
I do like the joint practices. I think it gives the guys someone else to beat on for a couple of days. And I think
in a respectful manner, by the way.
Well, yes. And I think for the team that's visiting, they then get to stay over and play there Saturday night. So I think it gives them a different view instead of just the same old every day.
Oh, for sure. All the reports were that on Tuesday, the Dolphins and the Eagles got chippy. They were going back and forth on social media, most notably A.J. Brown, who was picked up by the Philadelphia Eagles in the offseason, one of their big marquee acquisitions from the Tennessee Titans, and second-year safety Javon Holland. Javon Holland holding his own. I like all the reports about it being chippy as all get out between the two sides. The chippier, the better. This Dolphins team versus last year, I'm not going to say the Dolphins were soft last year, but they had a soft aspect to them, at least from what I could see. They just weren't tough. This Dolphins team got that swagger, that like nastiness to them, that mean streak to them. Well, is that fair?
It's you can tell. It's also that I think adding Tyreek Hill, who can tend to talk a little bit, has given them that swagger that they haven't had.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, just from everything I'm seeing and I'm reading, this Holland kid could turn out to be the next great safety.
And he's a part of a coaching, his coaching staff is Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain,
right?
Who, I mean, arguably the greatest safety tandem in the history of the Miami Dolphins. Javon Holland and Brandon Jones.
Well, they were both cornerbacks, but
corners. Sorry.
Okay.
My apologies. No, but they were the greatest not backfield. What am I trying to say? Secondary tandem. Let's call it that. Secondary tandem.
They were solid. There was a lot of solid corners, but they were considered as good as anyone in their prime.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%. But Javon Holland, from all intents and purposes, the Dolphins destroyed the Eagles on Tuesday. Now, today, the report came out that the joint practice was canceled today due to the Dolphins suffering from a stomach bug. You never want to hear that, because stomach bug, it's coming out of one of two ends, and whichever way it's coming out, it ain't going to be pretty. Okay. I've suffered from a stomach bug once or twice before. I'm glad the Dolphins called it off. They have nothing left to prove, right? This upcoming game against the Eagles, what are you looking for anything in particular? Because me personally, I've seen enough. I've seen enough from the joint practices, everything else. And we've got some more Tua stuff to talk about because people can't stop talking about him. Are you looking for anything in particular this weekend's game against Philly?
Yeah, I'd like to see improvement in the running game.
It's a good call.
They're still doing 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, and they're throwing the ball. And last week, it's an exhibition game. Nobody cares. But less than 2 minutes in the first half, instead of running the ball, they were on the 14. He throws it, Gaskin fumbles, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Doesn't count, but I would like to see some consistency. I'd like to see Armstead out there. I'd like to see the running backs. I've seen enough. The kid, Easy E.
Oh,
we might as well just go out and buy his jersey because he's making this team. Okay, that kid has nothing to prove, and I'd like to see the defense get a little tougher.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing, right? And we've seen so much candor. First of all, Evan, thank you so much for taking part in the show. I don't care about preseason, okay? And not to move away from Dolphins football, you just saw what happened with Chet Holmgren with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't care about anything that happens in preseason. I don't care what Skylar Thompson does. I don't care what Tina Thompson does. I don't care what the offensive line looks like. You will not convince me one way or the other that they are showing their entire hand right now. Because they're simply not.
Absolutely not.
So whatever is going on right now with anybody on the team, they're not showing anything. And I love it. They're keeping everything close to the vest. That's why I've got the cutoff shirt tonight, because they're keeping it close to the vest.
As are you.
Well, that's what we do here at the Bottoms Up, Fins Up podcast. No, but I'm with you. I mean, I'm excited to watch, anytime I get to watch Dolphins football, no matter preseason, regular season, or hopefully postseason, it's a good time, but I'm not looking for anything in particular this weekend. Evan makes a good point. It's all a smokescreen, bro. That's all it is.
And McDaniel is totally throwing up the smokescreen.
I love it.
But I'll tell you what's different this year. 3 exhibition games. That's it. So they've got a solid 2 weeks of let's get this thing going. Let's get the plays in. So I like the fact that there's only 3 preseason games. Just one less stupid game for somebody to get hurt.
That's fair. Mike McDaniel, head coach, had a presser today. Some of the high points there. This Mike Gesicki thing is not going away. By the way, talked about it on last week's show. I don't think that they're trading him, nor do I think that they should trade him, especially him on – I mean, he's already signed his contract. I like Mike Gesicki a lot. I think he's a shout out to my homie Caroline, Penn State. We are Penn State. He was a great athlete at Penn State, Nittany Lion. I'm of the opinion that I only move him if I'm getting Roquan Smith from Chicago. That's the only deal that I involve Mike Gesicki in. Do you agree with that? Because Mike McDaniel said that the rumor about Gesicki getting moved was misleading. He was quoted as saying that today. That's not a flat out no. That's all I'm saying is that it wasn't a flat out no.
I think Gesicki is not a tight end, first of all. I think he's a big receiver, okay? That's where he did most of his damage last year. He's obviously not a good blocker. I agree with, thank you, offensive line, but I don't think Gesicki wants to block. I think he wants to be a big receiver. And I think that's why if this continues, he missed some blocks last week in a meaningless game, but those blocks cost them a first down and it cost them a fumble. If you're not going to block, you still got Hunter Long and you still got not Sheehan. Who's the other guy, Michael? There's another one they drafted. So
I'll go look.
But yeah, Roquan Smith. They can have Preston Williams too.
Yeah, look, I think they're set at the wide receiver position. They are set between Waddle, Tyreek Hill, barring injury, Cedric Wilson, Eazy-E, Lynn Bowden. Don't forget about our guy Lynn Bowden from Kentucky. Looked really good last week. Also, he sent out a tweet yesterday to Tyreek Hill that I really want to talk about towards the end of the show. But I mean, Mike McDaniel was very complimentary of Mike Gesicki, saying that he had a great week of practice, which is great to see, that he's not letting the noise get to him, which is great. Big news from today's presser is that Jalen Waddle, who's been off of the practice field in recent weeks, he is expected to be back on the field sooner rather than later. I got to tell you, man, I'm losing sleep at night thinking about how exciting Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are going to be on this team. I am of the opinion they have the capability of being a top 5 wide receiver tandem in the league, not only this year, but the next 3 or 4 years to come. Because Waddle's only going to get better. He's only going to get better.
They're Duper and Clayton, but at a higher level.
I think so too. I want to talk about this tweet real quick. A lot of Dolphins fans were excited about the potential opportunity of signing center J.C. Tretter. Today, he announced his retirement. A little shocking. By the way, he's the NFLPA president as well, announcing his retirement. So the timing of this is really awkward. If you were the Dolphins, how comfortable do you feel with the center position between Connor Williams and Michael Dieter? Do you think that they should throw big money? They still have got about $17 million in cap space. Would you throw a boatload of money at J.C. Tretter to come out of retirement?
I don't think Connor Williams is getting the knack of this. I heard he had a bunch of high snaps. I think he needs to go back to his natural position. I like this. I like the guy. I would throw money at him. So if he's retired, he's retired. But yeah, I'd give it a run. But you got that much money left. You can bring on a big priced guy in a trade.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. I mean, all things being considered, let me ask you just straight up question. I'm not talking about money. Would you rather add a center like a J.C. Tretter to this roster or a Roquan Smith from Chicago?
Roquan Smith.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Okay.
I think you've got Van Ginkel, and I read your thing that it says he won't miss, but he had his appendix taken out.
Yeah, and prayers up to Andrew Van Ginkel, who I think is going to be a big part of this team. And they've added so much depth to that position this offseason by signing Melvin Ingram. That Melvin Ingram signing is looking that much better, especially with this injury to Van Ginkel.
And they also worked out Trey Flowers the other day from Detroit. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Trey Flowers. Let's get to that real quick. Your thoughts on a potential adding of a Trey Flowers at this point in camp?
I think if you get a Trey Flowers in here and you've got him and Ingram alternating, coming in and out, lining up, on the defensive line, dropping back into pass coverage, this defense is going to be better than it already is. I'm going to tell you what concerns me is Byron Jones not being here yet. The Trill Williams out for the year. Then they signed the Minnesota guy,
Mackenzie Alexander.
What's going on? I'm hearing names like Joe Hayden, Eli Apple. What is your thought? I mean, are you happy? And you can pronounce this guy's name from a couple of years ago. The guy they drafted in the first round.
Noah Ingambody. Yeah, he sucks.
That guy's getting burned every week.
Well, you got to think, man, the way that this defense is constructed, you've got to hope. Now, you do have Xavier Howard, who is a top 3 cornerback in the league. Byron Jones comes back. He's good enough to help on one side of the field. You've got a really good safety tandem in Brandon Jones and Javon Holland. You're going to get after, and I want to talk about this kid, Kohu, who is going to be the 4th cornerback on this team.
Kohu, I forgot about Kohu.
Yeah, he's playing really well. They are going to keep Noah just as decent depth, I would say. I wouldn't mind the signing of Joe Hayden. Really good addition to the locker room more than anything else. But you have got to hope that this team gets to the quarterback early and often. Between Seiler, between Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, Jalen Phillips, Emmanuel Ogba, Melvin Ingram, like you have got to hope to get to the quarterback. That's what they're going to hope that they get done.
Well, exactly. And I mean, let's face it, they're not throwing at number 25. So whoever lines up on the other side, you got to be ready. Now, whether that means the safeties have to drop back and help, whether you put in an Eric Rowe on, and play 5 DBs, I don't know. That's why McDaniel does what he does. But I think the depth has gone to hell right now.
Well, I wouldn't say gone to hell. Look, man, I'm all about the regular season. I mean, like Al Davis said it best, just win, baby, win. That's the only thing I care about. I don't care how it looks. I don't care if they win 3-0. Adding Tyreek Hill to this team is so vital offensively. I can't even begin to describe it. I do want to get to a tweet from yesterday from Lynn Bowden, who said that people don't know how good of a dude Tyreek Hill is off the field. And he tweeted at Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek Hill responded and said, "Much love, brother. I don't mind being the bad guy." So having this conversation with Caroline Rowland today about Tyreek Hill. I can't even begin to describe how good it is to have this guy as a part of the organization. He has been nothing but such a huge addition to this team in multiple fronts, man. Like, I can't even begin to describe how big of a deal this is. Did you anticipate? Let me ask you a 2-part question. Are you now a Tyreek guy? And how did you think he was going to be this big of an addition this quickly? Because it looks like he's had such an impact on so many different guys in this organization, whether it was hanging out with Tua at his house or being a positive role model like he is to Lynn Bowden, who was hurt and out the entire year, seems to have brought his game up as a result of being around a Tyreek Hill, Eazy-E being around a Tyreek Hill. Your thoughts on Tyreek Hill's impact on the organization thus far?
Well, so far he seems to have been it's a two-sided coin, a positive influence on these younger guys, okay? But I like the fact, and you know me, I like guys who go out there and talk smack, who can back it up. But he's taken a lot of pressure, I think, off of Tua.
100%.
By coming out and saying, the guy throws the best ball, he throws better than Mahomes, blah, blah, blah. I just think he's come in and just taken a lot of the heat on himself. That's the first side of the coin. The other side is go out, catch the ball, score lots of touchdowns, and let's go to the damn playoffs. That's the other side. Cut and dried.
Speaking of playoffs, Bleacher Report came out with their official prediction for the Miami Dolphins this year. I'll read you the last sentence and then I'll give you the win prediction. They said the realistic expectation for Miami is to compete for a wild card berth once again, but the fight to get to 10 wins may be tough. Their prediction is Dolphins finish 9-8. If they finish 9-8, would you consider that a successful season or no? And that would be missing the playoffs.
No.
Why?
What were they last year?
Same record.
With a shitty coach, with a not near as good team, a team that was in disarray, a team that lost what? 7 in a row, 8 in a row, something like that?
7 in a row and won 7 in a row in the same season. That's incredible.
Well, I think they're the first team to ever do that. But if you go back and look at the games, the game we were at, Atlanta, we have a 2-point lead, and you let the Falcons just come down the field. We lost to Jacksonville, okay? Yeah. We lost to a 1-4 Colts team. There was another we lost some really bad games. So to me, anything less than 11-6, no. Absolutely no.
Oh, okay. If they go 10-7, I'm happy. 10-7, 11-6.
If they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, 10-7 and making the playoffs as a wild card team. Let me ask you this. I mean, I don't think they're too off at 9-8. I think 9-8 is about right. Somewhere between I'd say anywhere between 8 and 11 wins would not shock me. What is your confidence level heading into the season on a 1 to 10 scale? Your confidence level that the Dolphins will make the playoffs this upcoming season?
7.8.
Okay. So you're pretty confident.
Yes.
Okay. Dude, I'm right there with you, man. Anybody who doesn't know us, and as the Dolphins community gets to know us a little bit more, you and I are fans, okay? We are not analysts. And what I mean by that, we're not going to break down the X's and O's of every single play. You know, the slot versus the drag versus the hook. Like, we're here to defend the Miami Dolphins as long as we can, you know, when it's viable.
And this is a show, and you said it yourself. You know, I don't want to talk statistics. I don't want to talk fantasy leagues. I want people like Evan and some of these other people who are just drop dead, fans, down to earth. If we lose on Sunday, I throw up on Monday, and I want to beat the crap out of everybody to come on here and complain and celebrate. That's what this show is all about.
But 100%. I think you hit the nail right on the head. My thing is all these fans who want to argue and bicker with each other. I'm like, do you not have anything to do? Like, go have a Coke and a smile. You know, the fact that you're breaking down this Skylar Thompson thing, we have got to move beyond it. Like, would I want to have a steak dinner with Skylar Thompson? Absolutely. But there was an article with some guy on Facebook who he took the time to write an article that Skylar Thompson should be QB1 after 2 preseason games. Are you kidding?
Well, okay, but let me ask you a question.
Scary, dude.
Instead of letting it annoy you, why don't you just be excited? Why don't you just be excited that, oh my God, maybe we stumbled upon a guy who can have a solid backup career in the NFL. See, I'm not worried about all this other stuff. I don't care QB1, I don't care. I'm excited that we got a guy who looks like he can play.
He can play. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it in regards to, I have never seen a fan base like the Miami Dolphins who just overreact to the smallest things.
Go look at any fan base.
No,
it's
dude,
not just the Dolphins.
I know, but I've seen it firsthand. You're not on Twitter seeing some of these takes from people. I'm like, do you not have a job? Like, you just want to spend like your entire time like going after, you know, Dolphins fans. I seriously, I can't do it. I mean, the team over at the mothership, you know, thinks that you're right. I think you make a great point. I'm speaking more to the people that see something in a preseason game where Skylar Thompson's making a play on a guy who's going to be working at CVS in a couple weeks, you know, versus a guy like Tua that has done nothing wrong. He's done nothing wrong.
He's done nothing.
It's not true.
Okay, but we got to look at the exhibition season, the games, which is what everybody is getting all hot and bothered about with Thompson. Thompson's right now putting up stupid, crazy numbers against people who are going to be taking your order at McDonald's or whatever. But look at the fact that last week, fourth quarter, the
balled out.
The Easy E, the kid caught what, 8-9 balls, 114 yards. That guy can play. And you put him out there in the regular season, that guy's going to play. You get him the ball, he's going to catch the ball.
For sure.
That excites me. That's what excites me more than – I'm not worried about Skylar Thompson taking over for Tua. I'm just worried about what bothered me the most, about Trill Williams being out for the year. We lost. That's what bothers me more than anything else.
That's fair. No, it's 100% fair. I'm ready for the regular season to start. Like, I don't know about the rest of the fans, but I am so ready to kick New England's ass in a couple weeks. That is going to be so utterly just phenomenal. I mean,
Evan, I agree with you, Evan. And the ones we don't send to New England, we'll send to the Jets. And then the rest can go to the Utah Jazz.
Okay, or the Buffalo Bills. I mean, whichever one comes first. Great commentary by Tyreek Hill. I don't know if you saw this, but he named the guy, if he was going to get in a boxing ring, who he'd want to go up against. And that's Jalen Ramsey.
Yep.
He said, I really want some of Jalen Ramsey, though, for real. If we're just being completely honest here, I want to go at the bully. Who would you take in a boxing match? 5 rounds, 3 minutes apiece. Jalen Ramsey against Tyreek Hill. Who are you going with?
Jalen Ramsey's a tank.
So you're taking Jalen Ramsey over Tyreek Hill?
Absolutely.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill, no pun intended, would just come at him like a spider monkey and just whoop the hell out of Jalen. Like, between those two, if I had to put $1 million on it, I would take Tyreek Hill over Jalen Ramsey every single day of the week.
Well, the only way that, now I think back to, when Rocky went after Drago in Rocky IV.
Yeah.
That's the only way I could see that happening.
Oh, it's fair. No, it's entirely fair. First of all, again, shout out Fins Talk Sports Network. We are so happy to be here to just be talking Dolphins football.
Absolutely.
Literally 2 weeks from Sunday, opening week. I can't wait. I am so excited for all things Miami Dolphins football. Great show, man. This is a lot of fun.
Let me ask you a question, though.
Yes.
Your opinion.
Okay.
I know we'll meet next week with, we'll go over the game and everyone will bitch about Tua. I get it. But what's your thoughts? I mean, and I know you touched on them briefly. A backup, getting a backup corner in here. Signing the Flowers guy. What's your thoughts? What do you think you've got to do it in the next week. You can't wait 2 days before the first game and bring in the guy from Chicago. You got to if you're going to do something, you got to do it. What do you think? Seriously?
I think there's going to be a ton of cuts, obviously, in the next 72 to 96 hours heading into early next week. I think the Dolphins are going to be extremely diligent in I think they're going to wait to see who hits the waiver wire. You saw it last week when they went and signed Mackenzie Alexander, that's a tough loss. I think people aren't talking about it enough. It's a tough loss at this point in the year just because you need to ramp up for the season. So it's a great point by you. I think they're going to wait. I think they're going to wait on Joe Hayden. I think a guy like a Joe Hayden would have been signed by now. I think the addition of Trey Flowers would be a really good addition. I didn't like what I saw from him in Detroit. But his pedigree with what he did in Detroit, I think he could bring a lot to the roster. I think he could bring a lot to the locker room. I think the addition, to be honest with you, is a little repetitive because you already have Melvin Ingram. But potentially anything that they bring in is going to be an end of the roster type of guy, like a 45 to 52 type of guy. So I'm not overly concerned with whoever they bring in. We could use some more depth, but knock on wood, the biggest pieces to success for this team are healthy right now. So I think they feel really good about the way that they're heading into the season.
Who opens up at center opening day?
It's Connor Williams. I mean, it's Connor Williams. The thing is, I don't think people are giving enough credit. Teron Armstead no one's seen Teron Armstead play yet. I don't think people understand how big of an addition that's going to be to the rest of the line. And what they're going to show is that in San Francisco had the benefit of a phenomenal offensive line, one of the better offensive lines in the league.
Yes.
The Dolphins are going to run plays that are based on getting the ball out quick. Like, they're not going to be asked to block forever. They're going to dink and dunk these teams to death or hand the ball off in space to guys like Mostert and Edmonds. Don't forget about Sony Michel. It's going to be really interesting to see who that fourth running back that they're going to keep. Is it Selvin Ahmad? Is it Myles Gaskin? I would like to see Myles Gaskin. I think they're going to trade Myles Gaskin, to be honest with you. I think there's going to be a running back needy team that would move. If they could turn Myles Gaskin into like a 5th round pick, I would do that deal. To pick up a 5, I would do that. But, because I think you can get similar production out of a guy like Selvin Ahmad.
If you run the Wildcat, who runs it?
They're not going to. They're not going to waste time with the Wildcat. I mean, if
they just pretend, come on. You're an old man.
Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
I mean, Tyreek Hill is the game manager to this team. He's the guy that you want the ball in his hands. He is the Michael Jordan of this team. Get the ball in his hands and watch what he does with it.
Is he returning punts or kicks this year?
Oh, hell no. No, absolutely not. I'm not sticking him back there. No, there's no shot that they're sticking their $100+ million player back there. No, not even. No.
Well, they had Holland returning punts last year.
Stupid. It's beyond stupid. Honestly, you know who I put back there? Depends. I wouldn't mind Jalen Waddle going back there.
Oh, why?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
I'd put Easy E back there.
Yeah, we'll see, man. But the biggest thing is, as we head into this weekend's game, y'all enjoy it. Okay, if you're watching the show tonight, thank you. If you're watching the show tomorrow,
thank you very much.
In the days, coming, thank you so much. We appreciate y'all so much. We are so excited for what we have planned for you guys. Literally shows that you will only be able to find here at the Fins Talk Sports Network. Okay, we got shows coming up from Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit. We are going to be live where the Dolphins are playing, and we can't wait to share all of this incredible, wonderful, exciting content with all of you.
And I know there's fans in all of these cities, because when Michael and I went to Seattle 4 or 5 years ago, that place was, I'm going to say 30-40% Dolphin fans.
Yep.
I know there's fans in all these cities, and we're going to get them to come out and sit with us.
My man, I'm excited. This is exciting.
I am.
This has been another episode of the Bottoms Up, Fins Up podcast, proudly a part of the Fin Talk Sports Network. We will be live with you next Thursday, 7 p.m., as we are every single week. Y'all enjoy the first weekend of football. We are so blessed to be able to bring y'all content every single week. I'm Mike Brown. That's Pops. We'll see y'all next week, baby.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Fins up, baby!